Alright, here's the quick, no-fluff rundown. I'd say it on the channel. Google just dropped what they're calling the biggest upgrade in Chrome's history, and they're doing it by weaving Gemini, Google's generative AI, directly into the browser. This isn't a sidebar toy. It's built across multiple levels of Chrome to anticipate what you need, untangle complex info, and keep you productive without ditching safety. The rollout starts in the US, in English, on Mac and Windows desktops, with mobile right behind it, and businesses get it through Google Workspace with enterprise-grade protections and admin controls. Sundar Pichai is calling it our next Chrome era, taking Chrome's old pillars, simplicity, speed, security, and layering AI-driven intelligence on top. Rick Osterloh's promising the speed and security stay intact. On desktop, you'll see a new Gemini button. Tap it and you can get summaries or comparisons across multiple tabs, or just ask about the page you're on. Chrome's address bar, the omnibox, picks up an AI mode that supports longer, more complex questions, gives contextual answers in a side panel, and lets you follow up without bouncing to a new page. Google says AI mode in the omnibox starts rolling out later this month in the US, English, and then expands to more countries and languages. The side panel can also serve an AI overview tied to the page you're reading, plus suggested questions based on the page context. On Android, you can trigger Gemini by holding the power button. On iOS, Gemini gets built into the app soon. And yes, there's a literal off-switch vibe here. Wired's takeaway was that a lot of folks will try this but still want control. So Google's emphasizing you decide when to share page content. You can stop Gemini mid-task, and activity can be deleted. Speaking of tasks, agentic is the big theme. In the coming months, Gemini in Chrome graduates from helpful to hands-on. Think booking a haircut, ordering your weekly groceries, handling appointment forms, even completing online orders. Google's framing this with an agent payments protocol so AI-initiated purchases are standardized with auditability and consumer protections. They're also expanding a PayPal partnership so Gemini agents can execute branded checkouts right inside Chrome. That's the vision. Fewer clicks, more outcomes, and a safer trail to prove what the agent did. It's ambitious and not cheap to run at scale. And agent mistakes and payment regulations are very real risks. But Chrome has distribution that's hard to ignore. More than half the global browser market, and north of 60% in some reports. So if this lands, it sets the default for how agentic computing happens on the web. Day-to-day, multi-tab brains are the star. Planning a trip with flights, hotels, activities scattered across tabs. Gemini can compare across sites and condense it into one itinerary. Lost a tab from last week? You'll be able to ask, what was the website that I saw the walnut desk on last week? Or, what was that blog I read on back-to-school shopping? And have Chrome recall it without spelunking through history. It plugs deeper into Google's biggest apps, so you can pull calendar availability, maps details, and even jump to the exact moment in a YouTube video you want, all without leaving the page. For enterprise users on Chrome Enterprise, you can hit @Gemini in the omnibox to query, group tabs automatically, get AI-assisted writing, and automate those routine browser chores. IT gets centralized management, data retention policies through Workspace, no additional cost admin tools, and compliance-minded rails to keep AI use inside corporate rules. Security is getting its own AI upgrade. Safe Browsing's enhanced protection mode already uses Gemini Nano to flag tech support scams that try to trick you into downloading shady software, and soon it expands to shut down fake virus pop-ups and fraudulent giveaway traps. Chrome's also cleaning up your notifications. It detects spammy or scammy site prompts and lets you ignore or unsubscribe. And since launching that on Android, Google says it cut about 3 billion unwanted website notifications per day. Permissions prompts get smarter too. Chrome learns your preferences, factors in site quality, and de-emphasizes requests you're unlikely to accept, so they're less intrusive. On credentials, Chrome's password manager still autofills and alerts on breaches, but very soon it becomes a password agent. On supported sites like Coursera, Spotify, Duolingo, H&M, and more, you can change a compromised password with a single click. There's also a consumer commerce angle that's hard to miss. By moving summaries, comparisons, and checkout flows into the browser with agent support, Google's turning Chrome from a window into the web into a workspace that mediates how you search, shop, and transact. PM's pegged this as the biggest overhaul in more than a decade, tied back to 2 blog posts on Thursday, September 18th, and it lines up with what competitors are doing. Microsoft is pushing Copilot deeper into Edge. OpenAI and Anthropic are experimenting with agents that drive the browser directly. The difference is reach. Chrome ships to billions, so the learning curve and accuracy concerns have to be handled with obvious opt-outs and a steady ramp. But once people get used to asking the browser to just do it, switching away gets harder. For businesses, the pitch is time back. Summarize web content quickly, cluster the chaos of tabs, draft better and faster, and let the AI run the repetitive stuff under admin guardrails. Android Police has been highlighting the AI-powered threat scanning and one-click password changes. TechCrunch has been hammering that the agentic actions, booking appointments, ordering supplies, shift browsing from passive to proactive. The Verge notes broaden platform coverage across Mac and Windows as these features land. Critics are fair to ask about accuracy in high-stakes workflows, and non-technical folks will need a gentle ramp. But that's why Google's rolling it out in phases, starting US first, English first, desktop first, expanding to mobile and more markets as they lock down the edges. Zooming out, this is Google trying to keep Chrome at the center of an AI-first internet. The Wired read is that AI browsers are going mainstream, and with a button that launches Gemini, omnibox AI mode, page-aware Q&A, and cursor-level agent actions on deck, it's not a stretch. The strategy ties back into the broader ecosystem: Docs, Calendar, Maps, YouTube, Chrome OS, Android, so results feel connected, not bolted on. If it works, Chrome becomes the place where lots of people experience AI every day, not a separate destination. If it stumbles, expect the off switch to be a popular friend. That's the tour. More to test, plenty to watch.